Welcome back to Game Room Crafts. My name is Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. This is my final autumn video. I am doing the final piece that I need to set up my fall gathering / Thanksgiving table. And I'm going to be making I don't know if you can tell what this is. This is a leaf. It looks like an autumn leaf. I saw it and immediately thought, fall. I'm going to be doing this in a mix of glitters. I have my Hemway Coppercraft glitter. I have my Creatology Extra Fine. This is like a bronze / brown glitter. Then I have some gold extra fine glitter. And this was from Michael's. I want to say it was a Creatology brand also, but I'll have to double check on that. So before I mix up a bunch of resin and waste it, I'm going to measure out my leaf because I want to do my leaf, but I'm also doing little pumpkin scatters for my table and I'm doing mushrooms. And I'm going to do it in the same colors, maybe mix it up just a little bit. But in order to do that, I want to make sure I have the right amount for my leaf and then I can just add a little extra to that. I don't want to make too much. And at the same time, I don't want to end up too little. So this, I have a bag of rice. This, I find, is the best way for me to accurately measure a mold. You can use water, you can use alcohol. The problem is when you use those, you will find like, wow, I measured it out. Why is it not even? Well, I will tell you why. The difference in the viscosity between water, alcohol, and resin is great. I mean, there's a big difference. So for me, the most accurate way is to fill out the mold with rice. And every time I've done it with rice, I have been spot on in my measurements. Now, the only time I wasn't was when I intentionally overfilled the mold. Like I made it big and chunky, which, I mean, you're not going to do that when you can't do that when you have resin. It gets to a point where it just flows out, right? Well, I wasn't thinking and I had intentionally made it a little too large. And I ended up with extra resin, which was fine. I just used it in something else, but I want to make sure. So I think this is good. This might be a little over, but like I said, I want just a little extra so I can make me some pumpkins and some mushrooms. I did make some flowers that I can use to scatter on my table, and those were quite cute. And I just did them in leftover resin for my yellow and orange. So those will be scattered on the table. And if I make, again, extra today, then I'll just make more flowers. But intentionally, I want my pumpkins and my mushrooms. So now this is full. I take it and I transfer it over. For me, it's easiest to pour it into my silicone cup. This is why I do it on a tray, because if anything spills out, it's so much easier to just pick it up. Now remember, there is a stem here. You don't want to have any leftovers in there. All out. And that goes back to where it was. And then I pour it into my cup that I'm actually going to use for my resin. And I ended up with 3 ounces, between 80 and 90 milliliters. Yeah, 3 ounces looks like that's going to be my magic number. But because I want extra for my mushrooms and my pumpkins, I think that I will do an extra ounce because I want mushrooms, pumpkins, and maybe some extra flowers in this color combination. So I will do 4 ounces and we'll see if it worked. Usually it works. And watch, the one time I actually do it on film, it's not going to work. All right, so we'll do 4 ounces. So 2 of B and then 2 of A. And then we will go from there. So I'm going to get that mixed up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've mixed up here 4 ounces of Bond Crafter 1-to-1 epoxy resin. I always use Bond Crafter, but here's a information tip for you. Bond Crafter has their resin listed as food safe. So you can use these and put food in them. Me, I'm not a big fan of that. But like if I was going to put something, say like a cupcake that had a wrapper on, that would be perfectly fine. But like I said, their claim is that they are food safe. I know that a lot of people do trays and stuff in Bond Crafter resin. So that's not why I use Bond Crafter. I use Bond Crafter because it's economical and it cures fast. And yeah, I've never had a problem using my Bond Crafter. Anyway, that's mixed up. I'm going to add my glitter. Now, this is the Creatology Extra Fine Glitter. I'm not sure what the color is. It does not say. But what it looks to me like is like bronze or brown. And that works perfectly well in here. Now, this is my glitter cup and this is my glitter paddle. It's the only things I use besides a stick. You know, normally I pour that, but I think I'm going to use a spoon so I get a measured result. I'll use a smaller spoon because my big spoon is really big, like barely fits big. So I'm going to do 2 good scoops of the brown. Let's call it bronze. Okay, so we got the bronze in. Now we're going to use the Hemway Craft Glitter Extra Fine Copper. So I'm going to put the same amount, 2 good scoops. Actually, I'm going to do 3. I like this color. And I'm going to do 1 of the We Are Spin It Extra Fine Glitter in gold. Just to give it a little extra something something. Okay, and then I'm going to push it all down before I turn it on. I can already see that I'm going to have a clear layer and I don't want a clear layer. So I'm going to add more glitter. 1 of each. I'm going to tell you that brown bronze really kind of takes over. Okay, the We Are Spin It comes in a bag. I just transferred it out. Alright, so that's done. Now, this is glitter and clear. So I'm going to use some Elmer's glue. And this is 4 ounces. So I'm going to add 4 drops of the Elmer's glue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop, there was an extra. I didn't mean that. And I'm scraping and mixing. Now I can still see my stick through all that glitter. So I'm going to add more because obviously my little scoops are not doing it for me. I'm just going to give it a good bit of glitter. That's much better. I'm going to do a little drop of the gold. I can't see it at all, so I'm going to... Much better. Okay, so this is going to go for a trip through the debubbling machine, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, we're back, and that has been through the trip through the debubbler. I tell you, it got pretty close. It got all the way up to the top of the cup, as you can see. Scraping it down. Thought I was going to have to release those bubbles for a minute there, but it got to the top of the cup and then collapsed on itself. Once it does that, you're good. But it was scary just for a second. Ready to go. So I'm going to give my mold a little spritz. I'm going to rub it down into the stem here, all the little points. Because if bubbles are going to hide, that's where it's going to hide. And we're going to go in there with our tool, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Okay, so that's been all the way around. And here we go. I'm going to start in a second and kind of let it just find its way on its own. Stop. Let it do its thing. Now this mold, you can see through it. So I can see there's a white spot there. That's a possible bubble. I don't see anything down in my stem there. So I'm going to make sure that I get some resin down in there. Okay, so I mean, I think I did what I could do. The glue. The glue does not want to let go of my stick, but it's okay. Next, I'm going to fill it all the way up. Keeping an eye, see right here is white. I want to make sure it gets full. I'm going slow because it's glue. It's going to take time because it's gloopy. I think we're good. If I measured correctly, 1.5, considering the amount of glitter I put in there, that's about right. And I haven't domed it yet, so... Now I'm going to come in, and these I made myself. This one's a pumpkin. I would like more pumpkins for my table. I have 1. Actually, I have 2. I just don't know where the other one is. That gets filled. That one might actually be a little overfull because these are hand-cut molds. They're not exactly even on the bottom, kind of raggedy. So, I mean, you want to fill it, but not overfill it. Remembering, of course, that they will shrink. And I have noted that when you use glue, it seems like it shrinks more. I don't know. That could just be me. And I know you can't tell what these are, but it's the same thing here. These are mushrooms. When I think fall, I don't know why, but I think mushrooms. I think acorns, which I did a few weeks back. I think, woodland creatures. Now, in all honesty, this leaf is actually a little darker than I would have wanted it to be. I actually wanted it to be more of, I don't know, like orangey color. But these are all fall colors too. So I actually have an orange leaf, so maybe I'll do both. And they were both done in the Bond Crafter 1-to-1, so food safe. So I can have it on my table. Whoop, lots of glue. Very gloopy. Now, if you remember correctly, I did do an extra ounce of resin. Then you count on top of that all the glitter I put in. Yes, it's only 4 drops of glue, but that is a lot of glitter actually. So I think all in all, by the time I was done mixing it, I was probably closer to 5 ounces than 4. Oops, that definitely spilled over. What did I say? Over pour. Okay, what do we got left? Let's scrape it down. What can I do? It's less than an ounce, about a half ounce. So you know what I'm gonna do? Since I said mushrooms are a thing, I have a big mushroom here. I know that it takes more than an ounce, but I don't mind doing the head of the mushroom in one color and the rest of the mushroom in white, cream, or whatever. Now this is a split mold, so I have to get, oh, this rubber band's a little small, I think. Do the big one. I think that's good. I'm going to put one more rubber band towards the top. Not too tight. I don't want them to roll. I need to get wide, flat rubber bands so that they won't roll like this, because these roll and it's irritating. I'm going to pour down the center. This mushroom is very textured. The original in the casting was like faux velvet for the head of the mushroom. So every time I cast it, that's what I get. I get that velvety feeling. And you know what? I'm here for it. I like it. I got that glitter down on the bottom of the mushroom. That's where I want it. I want it down on the bottom, and that is it. I don't want it on the top. So anything on the top, I'll wipe it out, because when I do the top, I'm just going to do it in white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more clear and glitter to the bottom. So just for the head of the mushroom, it goes about like that high. And then I'm going to let that sit. And by the time we're ready to demold these, I'll be ready to pour the base of this mushroom. So all I'm going to do is make up more of this same glitter, so you don't need to watch me do that. And then I will bring you back when either it's time to pour the base or it's time to demold these. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and this mushroom is ready for its second layer, which would be the stem portion of our mushroom. So I have here 2 ounces, fingers crossed. Hope that's enough. Get a spoon. I've already mixed it up for the most part. I just want this in. Now this is the Pearl Sparkle from Recollections, which you get at Michael's. Put a good dose in there. Kid chose this color. She likes the sparkle in it and the iridescence to it. Pardon my clutter. I'm getting ready to do another project while I'm doing this. Now I'm gonna just kind of wet it down before I zhuzh it, because I don't want unmixed powder and I don't want a poof. So here we go. Okay, the problem here is I can still see my paddle through it, so that means I did not put enough powder in. So I'm just gonna add some more. And I'll tell you what, I kind of want to add some of the iridescent iris to it, just because I'm stubborn like that. More Pearl Sparkle, nice good scoop, because I want it to be opaque. I don't want to see through this. And I'm gonna add a scoop of their white iridescent. Hopefully that will be enough. Kind of mix it in, and here we go. Already much better. I can see when looking at my paddle that that's much better. And make sure there's no lumps, there's no clumps, because that will show. I know, I say it every time, but hopefully I'm getting people who have never seen me before and they'll think I'm clever like that. Okay. All right. So that looks good. Now this is going for a trip through my bubbler. By the time that's done, I will be completely ready to pour that into my mushroom. I'll be right back. Okay, so that has been through the debubbler. Pop any surface bubbles. I tell you, one of my favorite things is to watch the bubble machine at work. 2 ounces. And this is the Recollections Pearl Sparkles and Iridescent. Now what I did was I took a piece of tape and I went around the stem on the inside very carefully, trying not to break the seal for the base. But I wanted to make sure that I got any big bunches of that glitter out of the way. I don't want that in my stem. There's going to be some, because glitter is glitter. Hey, look at that. 2 ounces is perfect. Because, as I've been saying, when you have a hand cut mold, you don't want it super domed, because you will end up super trimming, which really super sucks. I'll just scrape my cup out, make sure I get everything out of there. All that wonderful sparkly white goodness. And we are good. Now, I'm going to have to go back and watch the video so I can see how much I put in the bottom. so that I know the exact measurement on this mushroom, because I don't know the exact measurement on this mushroom because I'm an idiot, because every time I make it, I don't count. Which is really dumb on my part, but oh well. Well, that's it. She done. All right, we're going to leave this alone and come back to it when we're ready to demold everything. We will see you in a bit. Back, and we are done. So we are going to open these up. They are still warm and they're still a little bendy, but it's okay. Extras first. Sunflower. Oh, peel off little extra trimmings. Isn't that pretty? I like that. I really do. Very nice. Okay, so they are going to go in my cup with my other flowers. Okay, and then I have these flowers. Plumeria, dahlia. I believe that's also a dahlia. I'm not sure what that is, but I like it. Pretty, pretty. There's not even really any overage and no bubbles, which is a trip and a different sunflower. So yay. Now I have all different kinds of colors. I got the orange, I got the yellow, and now I got the copper and bronze. Okay, I have a little bit of overage here. I'll try and get it off before I pull it out. It makes things a little easier. Definitely makes the after the fact cleanup much easier. And oh, pop went the pumpkin. And there's our pumpkins. Cute. So now I have 3 pumpkins. I have a 4th somewhere. I don't know where it's hiding. Different colors. That's going to be great to scatter on my table. And now the mushrooms. Again, get that extra yucks off. Just makes it easier to clean. If you do it after there's nothing solid in here, it makes it more difficult to get off. I don't know. Then they get under your fingernail and not fun, not fun. All right, let's see if we can pop these out. Oh. And there's our little mushrooms. I will have to trim up the bottoms a bit because they're a little concave. They shrank. But I also have these from when I first cast these mushrooms the very first time I tried. So I think I'll just mix them up when I put them out on my table. Scatter them around. Very cute. Very, very cute. All right. We have just a little bit of overpour, which is, not surprising to me. I had that glue. I kind of poured it a bit because I didn't want too much shrinkage. So yeah, overpoured. Not surprising. All right. Loosen it up. If I can. Surprisingly enough, it's not that sharp. I will have to trim it. Oh, I don't know. That just came off in my finger, so that's good. Okay, come down. Oh, no bubble in my stem. Let's do the bubble check. So far, I'm not seeing any bubbles on the tips of my leaf. So that's wonderful. Wow. Kid, come on over. Kid wanted to see this. She had something she wanted to do to it. That's really pretty. And I like that the copper and the gold is shining through. Did you want to do the thing?
Sure, where's the bowl?
Let me get out of your way.
Before you tell me to say hello, people. Hello, people. Okay. I'm just gonna... this was actually my idea. Did you tell them that?
Nope.
Well, it was. I'm just gonna be tracing the lines, basically. I'm not doing anything excessive.
The vein lines?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, Bond Crafter is food safe, but now that we're putting the chrome marker on it, it's not food safe unless we seal it in, which we can do. I wasn't planning on putting food in here anyway. I'm going to throw some of my scatters that I just made in there.
Scatters?
Yes, did you see? Mushrooms.
Okay, hello.
Pumpkins and different color flowers. Mushrooms are they need trimming, but yeah. I wish the mushrooms were shiny like the pumpkins are. Pumpkins be shiny. But in order to do that, I would have to cast it again, and I'm not doing that. Because silicone not be cheap. I have another pumpkin somewhere, I just don't know where it is.
It ran away. It said, I don't want to be part of your...
Do you need more ink? You can push it down on the parchment paper.
Oh yeah, you have parchment paper, duh. Beep, 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 beep. Someone is barking.
Somebody wants Cheetos.
Does he want Cheetos or does he want walkie?
Don't know. I couldn't hear which button he was pushing.
He wasn't pushing a button. He was going...
No, he did push a button first. What do you want, Peps?
Because she expects him to respond in full sentences.
Because he usually does.
In full sentences?
Well, no, but...
Because you didn't let me finish. I said she expects him to respond in full sentences. Okay. And then you said...
So if you ask him, what do you want? He'll usually hit the button, either treat or walk or whatever. But here's the thing. If he wants a treat, you tell him, do you want a bacon or do you want biscuit? and he will look at the two hands and then hit the hand that he wants. And you can switch the hand. Okay, switch. Do you want treat or do you want walkies? And he'll be like, treat. Okay, do you want bacon or do you want biscuit? And he will consistently hit whatever it was he hit the first time. So if he said bacon, he wants bacon. That's the one that he wants.
Doesn't matter. Like, it's not he consistently hits left. It's he consistently hits bacon.
Whichever one is bacon. Yeah, you can switch it on him. He knows what he wants. He ain't no dummy.
It's kind of concerning.
Highly intelligent dog, which tells you when he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, he's doing that on purpose. You are off screen.
I am aware.
Completely off screen.
I am aware.
Shall I?
No. You see, but I'm gonna do it. Have a little slow spinning picture of Pepsi just the whole time we're talking about him. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm.
Editor.
I'm the editor.
That looks much better, actually. Yeah. So if we wanted to, we could seal this in with another little layer of resin, but I'm not going to do that because I wasn't planning on putting food in here anyway. I'm going to throw some of my scatters in there once everything's dry.
Yeah, wait for it to be dry, please.
We have one more to unmold. Do you want to do it?
Here. Oh, it's warm.
Yes, it's warm. Do you want me to do it?
I don't like touching the warm ones. They scare me.
This was still warm.
Not in the same way. The mold itself is warm. And is that the 0A?
This? No, it's all 10A.
Really? It feels squishy.
Oh, maybe it was 0A. Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna go see what he wants.
Yeah. Okay, so remember, this was a split mold, and that's going to require some trimmage. I'm just going to go around the head of the shroom. Remember, I told you that the original mold, it was velvety on the top, so that's what we got. Same resin. This is the top, and you feel it. The top feels velvety. The bottom does not feel velvety because the bottom was not velvety when we made the mold. Do you want to feel that? It's fuzzy. Yeah.
Hi. Someone is in here watching and he's like, excuse you, I am fuzzy.
He is fuzzy. Mm-hmm. Fuzzy and cute. Okay, so that is our make for the last of our fall makes. Coming next week, we'll be moving into our winter makes. I'm starting winter next week. Just FYI. If you want to join us, please do so. We will endeavor to make it fun. Thanks for joining us so much here in the game room. We will see you next week. In the meantime, don't forget to play. Bye!